should look okay. Testing. So now we're going to do some... Oh, it is recording in Ableton, right? Yes. We're going to do some live looping on the Octatrack here. So I've done a few things to prepare for this, but there are no samples recorded into the Octatrack yet. Or if there are, they're going to be erased as soon as we hit play. It's the same setup as the other video. We've got a through track listening to AB. We've got now a flex track that's open that we might assign some bass to or something. So that was a neighbor machine before, but now we made it a flex machine. Number 3 is a flex machine as well. That is set to the recording buffer on recording 1. So while track 1 will just play the incoming sound from the digatone, track 3 will record a 4-bar sample and play it back, but it will play it up 1 octave, and there will be some things probably with like delay and echo on the crossfader there. Track 4 is an open flex track as well, so we could assign something there if we want. All these, track 1 through 4, are going out of the Q mix, which we've assigned to the headphones. And then on the right side, we have drum stuff. So track 5 listens to CD, which is the KO2. Track 6 is a open flex track. Track 7 is a flex track that has the recording buffer from track 5 being played back at an octave higher. So it's like immediately going to record a little snippet of the incoming audio on the through track on track 5, and it will play it back an octave higher. What else do we have? So might add some bass, but here I'll just play the thing. Without further ado, here will be some sounds, right? So we have, just to explain it, I guess, MIDI out to MIDI in on digatone, and then MIDI out, I believe, MIDI out on digatones into the KO2, and it will all be synced up and ready to rock. So yeah, should work. Should just work. I want the digatone to be set a tiny bit louder. So, a few things about it, I guess. It's cool, but most of the stuff that's happening is live. Like if we double tap stop and then hit play again, everything is going to be redone. Like it really didn't save it. It doesn't remember everything. You know, we've printed recording buffers, and we can, if we go into the sample slice thing, we can see that there is a recording here, but the recording buffer is temporary. It's going to throw it away as soon as we decide to record into it again. But right now, if we hit play, it actually won't record again because we can see the through tracks still have the play head or the play icon instead of stop. So the through tracks are not being triggered again. Actually, let's find out. I don't think it's going to record again if we just hit play here. Yeah, it doesn't. So if you want to just save your recording buffer and do this and think about adding stuff, you can just hit stop once. So what I want to do is actually, yeah, this is what I want to do, I think. Maybe we're just going to turn Flex 2 back into a neighbor machine. And I am going to actually turn off track 1, the through track. So I think that's the trick to make it be series or serial. Like if you turn off track 1, it only comes out the neighbor machine. As far as I'm aware, it's been my experience. And what I want to do with the neighbor machine, I was thinking Bit Crusher. Or is it Lo-Fi? So that's a fun thing. You can switch between if the neighbor track or the through track is armed or like is playing back just by hitting function and tapping whichever one you have playing. Probably makes no sense. A bit under the weather. What do we want to do next? So now I think I want to record in some bass. What we need to do, do I want to record bass in or do I want to record in this granular? We might go granular recording. Ooh. So what we could do, doesn't matter, let's do them both. We'll do granular and bass. We need to change track 4, the recording buffer. It's already set up the proper way, actually, nice. And here's something important, I guess. If we just hit play and then we have the through track happening on the digatone, we also want to use the granular synth. You need to know. You need to mute whatever, you know. Probably makes no sense too. This is going to need to be edited for sure. So then we've set up the recording buffer for track 4. What you also might do in this case is, like, say you want to just keep monitoring on... There's a few ways you could do it, I guess. You can keep monitoring. It doesn't matter. You can keep using your through track as a monitor. Oh, but then you lose the digatone. It's confusing. So track 4 gets recording buffer 4. Nice. And then all we have to do is, here's where it gets tricky, because you have to make sure you haven't double tapped this stop. Otherwise, you're going to overwrite the recording buffers in place, and we don't really want to do that. Oh, what I could do. This is what I'm going to do instead. So instead of having track 2 be a neighbor track of the input on the digatone, we are going to return track 2 to a flex machine and have it take recording buffer 1. Where do we get there? Isn't that it? Yeah. Take recording buffer 1, but keep those same effects. So now, basically, we can mute the incoming signal from the digatone, and we will just have it playing back normally on track number 2 there. I mean, not totally normally. We do have the bit crusher going, but instead of just having the octave up effect, we now have somewhat, we've freed up the track 1 input to be new stuff. I guess that's what I'm trying to get across. Once you want to add more stuff from a through track, you should kind of reallocate the recording buffers. That makes no sense. Or just make... What am I trying to say? When you want to use the recording buffer... No. When you want to use the through track as a monitor in live looping, you need to distribute the parts that you record onto flex tracks in order to build your loop. So if you keep relying on the through track for a section of the song, like for instance whatever the sequence on the digatone was, if we rely on the through track for that to play back, we could not really use the through track or the A-B source, I guess we should say. We couldn't use source A-B for more overdubs because it's supplying part of the song. So you need to take that recording buffer, even if you're doubling it down here like we are on 3, we need to take it and have it play back on 2 on its own. So then input A-B is free and open for more filling of recording buffers. That's probably the best way I could say it. You can edit that together. Still so loud. Let's turn this track down too. This is a little bit obnoxious. There. Is that so bad? Jeez. So that's a nice little layer, nice little granular layer. Now, I'm gonna add bass. And I guess I'm gonna do it on track 6. Maybe I'll do bass on track 6. So make sure you change the behavior of track 6 so it's coming out of the Q mix now. And then change the slot to recording buffer 6 and go into the recording menu on 6 and actually change that to A, B, or A plus B. I don't know what the difference is. Maybe a mono stereo thing. Is A plus B mono and AB is stereo? I'd hate to see that. I've been doing mono the whole time then. Are we recording on the phone? Yeah. So then we need to find the bass sound. But first, navigate out of the MIDI menu in Osmos. We go adjust channel, put it on channel 16. Then we go back into the sound engine, and I think this bass is actually pretty cool. Yeah, I think I could even do it first try. So what do? We go into the recording menu, put down trig, make it a one-shot trig, and then just hit play. Yeah, and it played back super loud, which is interesting. So we can turn this guy down a little bit too.